God bless y'all. God bless you for you that are chiming in. You see, we're in the studio. We're prepping, getting ready to go live in about a minute and a half, maybe so, 2 minutes at the most. But we have to our left and our right, two for proud women, and then to the far corner over there is my lovely wife. She's in the midst. But we're glad to come to share with you. Lady Nurse Rowena is at another setting and giving announcements pertaining to our lunch out September the 12th. It's going to be at the Nevada Partners, and I believe that address is 490 Lake Mead, and we want you to be there 4:15, and you can also register. We will give you that number as we proceed to go further. Yes, yes, yes. So, all righty. That number is 702-686-5770 to register. We need as many as you that can register to please register. 702-686-5770. Nurse Rowena, you will be contacting her. And that's 888 Health Learning Institute, Health Institute, 888 Health Institute. Yeah. And so, but we're excited about our class coming up. We're excited about our profound teachers, our physical therapy right there, physical therapists, as well as so our lifestyle coach. Also, we are expertise in diabetes, known Dr. RJ. Remember Jr. And so we're excited for her and the other teams, Sister Shaw, Lady Washington, and Miss Evelyn Herbert Thompson. And so we're looking to get as many more teachers as we possibly can, but we want most of you to register for the coming classes that she'll be in September the 12th. Those classes are 22 weeks, 22-week session classes, and it's going to, we need you there for 1 hour.
Yes, 1 hour power.
1 hour of power, 4:15 to 5:15. All right. Well, God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. For you that are listening, we want to bring you greetings. Amen. While we're live in the radio, this is the voice, the prophet, and the desert, the senior pastor of the Promised Land Community Church. And where we're here, this is our dedicated day that we talk about your wealth is your health. And we have some expertise, experience in the building, those that they are experts in what they do. And we're glad to be, amen, have them to be a part of our type 2 diabetes prevention team. And we're excited to have to my right our own Dr. RJ Remington. She's going to be sharing with us. And we have also, too, our own physical therapist and our own Shalonda Rice. And so we're excited, and my own wife in the corner for her moral support. And she's also one of the teachers as well. And we're going to be doing this class at Nevada Partners. That's going to be September the 12th, 4:15 to 5:15, 490 Lake Mead Boulevard, Nevada Partners. And we want you all to come out and register. Please register, because that way we know that we are have enough books set aside for you. That number is 702-686-5770. Well, God bless you. And we're excited to come to your earways and come to you in your cars and your home. And we're going to start with our own Dr. Remington, because we're talking today about activity and tracking. Is that right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
activity and tracking. So we're going to just lead right into Dr. Remington. Just take away.
Hello, hi. Today I'll be discussing tracking your food and the purpose of tracking your food. So if you aren't aware of the Diabetes Prevention Program, this is a lifestyle program where over the course of a year, the goal is to lose 5 to 10% of your total body weight, which can reduce your risk of having chronic diseases such as like hypertension, obesity, and diabetes. So even though this is diabetes prevention, tracking your calories can definitely help you lose weight to help you combat or reduce the risk of other chronic diseases. So we need to track our calories because we need to know how much we're consuming. Calories in means it will manage our weight. So if we're not tracking it, we don't really know exactly how much food or how many calories that we're eating. And it helps us towards our weight loss goal. As mentioned with the Diabetes Prevention Program, we want to lose at least 5 to 10% of our body weight within the next year. And so why is it important? Because if we do reduce our weight, we can reduce our risk of having type 2 diabetes. Mm-hmm. So how do you track your food? You can do it through food logs, digital apps, and then you have to measure your food as a way of tracking it. Mm-hmm. So measuring your food would be with liquid teaspoons or liquid cups, having a scale, measuring cups, and then also being able to write the food portions down. We can also track our food by understanding nutrition labels and understanding serving
Yes.
sizes. So on nutrition labels, it gives us kind of a gram or millimeter for a serving, and we'd have to track the amount of servings that we have, but we can only track that by either weighing it using measuring cups or scale. And then you could do this for every meal. You do this for everything that you consume, including, condiments, juices, fruits, snacks. And because what you want to know essentially is how many calories you're eating per day. And this is what's best, because what we understand through the diabetes prevention program is that your calories really determine whether or not you lose or gain weight. So if you're overeating, that means you'll gain weight. But if you're eating to maintenance or you're eating at a deficit, that will help us lose weight. So that's a way that we can track our food and understand how much food or calories that we're consuming a day to help us lose our weight and obtain our weight goal.
Excellent. Sister Shalom?
Yes. So, tracking the food is super important for all of the events she just mentioned. So now we're talking about going and having those calories go out. So calories in, you're consuming the food. Hopefully you're consuming good food. If you're not, hey, getting active is going to be a huge component to make sure those calories that are coming in, we're now expending them through activity. Think about why we have this body, why we have this temple God has blessed us with. We weren't made to sit and just stay and lay. We were meant to move. We were meant to accomplish things. So, staying active is going to be super vital for that, especially increasing our lean muscle mass. So muscles, why is that important? We're going to be able to protect our bone density. Anyone that's in osteopenia or even osteoporosis full blown, it's going to help build up your bone mass, your density, and keeping them from falling, right? So aside from that, coordination, mobility, flexibility, all of those are going to be improved through staying active. And right now, research is showing just 30 minutes a day is extremely vital to doing that. Okay, so it could be, for example, getting out and taking a walk. That's one of the best things you can do. The weather's finally here in Vegas, at least. It's getting down cool enough where you could just go outside and take a breath of fresh air. And it actually does so much for just getting outside, for your hormones, for your mood, and this activity in general does that. Is balancing out your mood even better. Your calorie burn, we just talked about that, right? So the more you move, the more of a likelihood you're going to expend even more calories. So if you're in a calorie deficit or even an increase, based off of your diet for the day, your activity is going to allow you to get that balanced.
You spoke earlier, I think it was Dr. Remy, you spoke earlier about losing calories, burning calories. What would you say to someone that's maybe mobile, they're not capable of doing a lot of physical activity? How would they go about burning calories? What suggestions that you would say to them that may be in type 2 prevention, but they may be wheelchair bound?
So if they're wheelchair bound, would be best thing would be for them to speak to their physician to see whether or not they can receive medical nutrition therapy. And then essentially that's usually it's a referral process where they can go see a nutritionist. The nutritionist can help them devise a meal plan and give them calories that they will not exceed to help either maintain their current weight or not gain more weight.
And I asked that question because I thought about the exercises that you do. Can you explain some of those exercises?
And we displayed some of those exercises, and we were just chair bound. We were in our chairs and we were working out. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. It was like a 30-second interval of movement, and we were dancing in the chair, y'all. So it's possible to do, and you could do it in the chair if you have the accessibility to get to your local YMCA, any of the recreation centers around town. Even a lot of them have wheelchair lifts to go into pools.
Yes.
So water aerobics is also a fabulous way to get activity in if you are not able to incorporate the lower half of your body or your core. That might be an option as well. So
and we can include resistance bands depending upon how mobile you are.
Absolutely.
So resistance bands can definitely help with, as we've talked about, maintaining lean muscle mass. If you increase your muscle mass and increase your metabolism,
it's good.
and those are things that you can do in a chair. Those are things you can do, seated in an upright position.
Absolutely.
So it's amazing. So now, in regards to the activities, You have your activities. Now, any particular activities which you suggest, or what time frame would you suggest after eating meals?
So usually I recommend patients, anyone, if you want to lower your blood sugars, exercise after eating.
After eating?
Yeah, so it could be just a 10-15 minute walk. It do great. It will lower your glucose significantly
Really?
by just walking after meals. And if you want to walk up to 30 minutes, you can, but 10 minutes will do the job.
Wow. So you can do a 10-minute exercise workout to burn some sugar calories. Don't go to bed. Don't go to bed.
Yeah, so or lay down.
Or lay down.
You know, ideally after eating, if you could just have at least 10 minutes of physical activity after you eat, you'll see a tremendous decrease in your blood sugars. But the goal is just to get moving.
Okay.
Just to get moving. Like walk as much as you can. So, you know, you've heard these before, like park as far as you can from the store and walk, or take the stairs, not the escalator or the elevator.
Absolutely. We're back to school now. So, you know, if you are in proximity, whether you're a grandparent or a parent or a babysitter, whatever it may be, walk those kids across the street if you can. I did that this morning. I took my kids to school. Usually I take a stroller. A stroller is going to add a little bit of resistance as well. Anytime you can get a little bit of extra resistance in, you're going to increase that opportunity to build that lean muscle mass I just mentioned.
That's awesome.
If you don't have a stroller and that 2-year-old, 3-year-old doesn't want to walk all the way back, guess what? I had 30 pounds on my back that I was carrying back over to the house. So it's just natural day-to-day things you can do to help you build more activity into your routine. It's just getting smart about it.
Or like if it can do sit-ups in between like TV commercials or
squats.
Or squats
Same
or
thing.
try to do push-ups or even push-ups on your knees. Like just any time you have
Push-ups off the wall.
Yeah, push-ups off the wall
or the counter.
Yeah, just any time that you feel like you've been seated for more than like 30 minutes, then just get up and move for at least 1 to 2 minutes.
I like that.
30 minutes, y'all. After 30 minutes of inactivity, that's a
Get up and move.
That's a good point. Get up.
You know,
and
it's
move.
very important.
Go to the restroom.
I mean, I'll be 59 this birthday, and then coming to this particular age, you know, weight don't do toward me like it used to. So if I don't watch what I eat, it impacts me in a negative way. So I must do the activities to burn the calories, to burn the necessary, to do the necessary work to burn the necessary calories. And one of the resistant trainings is actually, I do press dumbbells and bench press, but when I do it, I don't do it right after I eat, but then I like the notion of idea of getting up, walking, maybe just standing in place, just activity, just getting the body to circulate and push the food to its proper destinations. And so what would you suggest now to someone that really got I know some people that got some bad eating habits, and to try and tell them to be activity, the joke would be, oh yeah, I'm finna do some activity. I'm going to sit right here and take this spoon, pull it up to my mouth, you know, gesturing and jokes. But on the serious note, when you're dealing with people that are 45, 50 years old, 54 years old, having heart attacks, having strokes, how does this play into all of that?
It really is the calories that you consume that really determine whether or not you're going to lose or gain weight. Exercise is a form of maintaining your weight loss, but really we can't out-exercise the calories that we're eating.
A poor diet. You can't out-exercise a poor nutrition.
Yeah. So
I don't like the word diet.
you know, so essentially the way we just start something small.
Okay.
You know, what can you do adding vegetables would be the first thing that I recommend. A lot of us don't get our 4 to 8 servings of green leafy vegetables a day.
Oh, really?
Yes, no, we don't. So adding vegetables will add bulk, will add fiber, reduce your calories, make you feel full, so you eat less carbs.
Who likes smoothies?
True.
Does anyone like smoothies? Do they make them at home? Okay, so just a quick tip. You know how like you have your bananas and you're putting them into a smoothie. You can actually opt for more vegetables that have kind of the consistency to make that smoothie smooth, like squash. So you can swap out stuff like that, or even do half that amount of banana, put in that squash. It's going to take down the sugar intake, but the fiber you just mentioned, Dr. Remington, it's going to help with that too. So finding different things like that to add to your smoothies would be really helpful.
Explain the 4 greens.
A bowl full of greens or other vegetables.
You like something about the 4 vegetables and 4 items that you're supposed to eat. Could you explain a little bit more of that? Fiber.
The protein, fats, carbs, that type of scenario.
Okay. All right. So essentially, we have if you compile, when we make up our foods or we look at our foods, we're usually eating fats. we're eating protein, and we're eating vegetables
Mhm.
and starches. Okay, so essentially we have vegetables that are considered starchy. Vegetables are considered non-starchy. When I say vegetables, we want to add in non-starchy vegetables. So those are more like green leafy vegetables. Starchy vegetables would be like corn, peas, beets, help me out, potatoes.
Yep, potatoes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Those are starches, and those are foods that could elevate your glucose, and they have some fiber, but we really want the non-starchy vegetables because they're pretty high in fiber and they don't elevate our glucose. We have fat, which we were familiar with. We have protein, which usually comes from animal sources, but you can get vegan or vegetarian sources, just as like pea proteins, legumes, soy, Beyond Burger, things of that sort. And then we have our carbohydrates, which are simple and complex. Ideally, you want to have a complex carbohydrate, which would be like whole grain foods, whole grain breads, rice, polenta, grits, wild rice. You know, we want to barley, and we want to reduce our simple carbs, which would be added sugars.
Added sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, our time goes by so fast when we're having fun.
Yes.
And so we're grateful to you. Tune in next Wednesday. Your health is your wealth. We will be back here Thursday and Friday. God bless you. May the Lord bless you. Go in peace in Jesus. All right, Lady Washington, do honors and